welcome to episode 6 of our podcast, Character Crashers, where we discuss both popular and obscure media that we enjoy and come up with character concepts surrounding the fandoms. My name is Morgan.
I'm Taylor.
And I'm Colin, and today's media of choice is the popular horror animatronic video game series known as Five Nights at Freddy's.
Five Nights at Freddy's is a horror game series created by Scott Cawthon in 2014. In terms of world building, the first few games center around you playing as a security guard trying to live through the night with animatronics coming to life and trying to kill you. It should be noted that in the first game, the animatronics are possessed by kids who were murdered. In some of the other games, though, the animatronics are not possessed, but more so examples of programming gone wrong, with its latest installment mostly focusing on AI and its potential hazards. The game inspired various books, a movie, and plenty of fan games. I won't go over the timeline because that could take years.
For this episode, I'm doing things a bit different. Now, if you were to look at my list of original characters, you would see that under FNAF, I technically have 2 characters, but in actuality, they're the same character, just a bit different. To start off, we're going to talk about Wolfie. There's not a lot to say about her since she's not all that fleshed out. I haven't really played most of the FNAF games and don't have a lot of knowledge of the lore, so I don't really have a lot to go off of for Wolfie's background. All I know is that Wolfie is an animatronic white wolf that I think wears a bow tie around her neck, and there's dashes of yellow and light blue being included in her color palette. That's all I got. Now, to focus on my preferred version of Wolfie, her updated version, Wilma Wolf. I tag-teamed the Security Breach game with Colin over here when it came out on the Nintendo Switch, so I have a lot more knowledge on that game. Wilma Wolf was designed off of the original blueprints for Wolfie, her design refurbished to better fit the aesthetic of the Mega Pizzaplex's animatronics. Rather than being a member of the main band with Freddy and his friends, Wilma was designed to be an assistant to Sundrop and Moondrop in the Pizzaplex's daycare center. Wilma's role is mainly to take care of the art station, helping the kids with arts and crafts, which is why she wears a thin sort of shirt, so to avoid getting paint where it doesn't belong. Not to say that she isn't easy to clean, better to be safe than sorry. On top of that, Wilma has a sun and moon themed design on her chest, which glows like a nightlight during lights out, to help the children sleep better. And her big fluffy tail is made to help kids who get overwhelmed and overstimulated. They can just sit next to Wilma and she'll wrap her tail around them until they feel better. Wilma's chest, if you can believe it, is also hollow, allowing her to store things inside of them through the sun and moon design, which is actually a panel. She mostly uses it to store candy and simple first aid items for the kids, also tending to keep some extra art supplies in there like crayons and glitter glue. Wilma's relationships with characters in the Pizzaplex are as follows. She has a close relationship with Sun and Moon since she works with them in the daycare, and she cares for them a lot. She has a kinship with Roxy since, wolves. And she also gets along decently with Monty for some reason. I don't know why, I just like Monty.
Yeah.
And we are beginning our unscripted brainstorm session for the collaboration character to kind of just get people to understand what our plan is. So, obviously, throughout the course of FNAF, there have been several different types of animatronics. Colin, do you want to explain it a bit? Because I don't
Explain which part,
like the animatronics.
Oh, the different version to me.
Yeah.
Okay, so for those of you that are more familiar with the older games versus the newer games and like how it's kind of shifted, so think of the original FNAF and what those animatronics looked like the old kind of scuffy looking 80s style suits. Then you move on to a couple games down and you have the toy versions, which are mostly all plasticky looking and a little more solid in color in terms of designs. And then you move on to ones like what we have in Security Breach, where we have the glam rock versions, which honestly, in my opinion, are some of my favorites. And then it kind of just expands from there in the different versions. But those are like the 3 main different versions that you have in terms of like the core series.
Yeah, so kind of what we had discussed off camera that we're planning on doing is obviously we're doing the same as we've been doing before. We're doing the same collaborative character. But our plan is we're going to have a wheel at the end that we're going to spin. And it's going to decide what animatronic type each of us does. So we're gonna do the same character, but with 3 different animatronic types. The original, like, first game animatronic, the toy plastic animatronics, and then the glam rock animatronics. Did I get that right?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So just kind of wanted to get that out there so everyone knew kind of what we were doing from the beginning, because we're not going to like show the wheel having spun till the end, but obviously you're going to see us draw throughout the entire thing. So just so you understand what's going on. Colin, I have no thoughts.
No
Taylor?
thoughts? No thoughts.
You have no,
We
I don't know how to
literally
start
can't-
this?
Okay.
Taylor,
I can,
did you have any thoughts?
No,
Okay,
I mean,
if neither of you have, I can kickstart, but do you have any?
I don't have any like ideas for like out of the box, but I do have like guidelines that we could probably go over.
That's fine.
To make sure our animatronic like remains consistent with the animatronics that
I
have
can
already been made.
Yeah, I can definitely go through like.
Yeah.
But I had no initial thoughts. I don't know how to. I couldn't figure out.
So
how
I
to,
can read down. I didn't write a lot
because I
down, but I
told you
can read
this
a few of what I
earlier
wrote.
off camera. Unless I know what game specific, I can't think of specifics for the character, like background wise. So
That's fine.
Okay.
Okay.
So
go ahead.
Right.
What is
So
your?
I don't have a ton down, but I mainly just wrote like a character idea for like what animal species it could be,
Fair enough.
and then also potential instrument for it. So, but again, that also depends on what game you want to stick it in. Anyway,
Instrument.
I mean,
Yeah.
I guess most of the animatronics.
yeah, most of them
are
are instrument based.
instrument-based.
Like, we
But
can
then
always-
there's characters like Foxy, and then there's characters like Balloon Boy,
Who
and
just
it's
sing
like,
or just
who are
kinda
just
there.
around there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
we just give
So-
We'll figure it out.
So for species, I was trying to think of something a little different that we haven't seen more so.
Mm-hmm.
First off is red panda.
Okay.
We have raccoon, orca, capybara, and squirrel, which are kind of just a few I thought of.
I like Red Panda.
I thought of
And-
armadillo.
And armadillo.
I thought
is a
about
good
armadillo
one.
at
we
a
can
point.
add armadillo on.
I like armadillos.
That's mine.
Specifically, one of those like pink armadillos.
Oh yeah.
Those are
Actually,
fun.
yeah.
But,
or if we're thinking about our Gravity Falls episode last time, axolotl.
And then but the last thing I have is the instruments, and for that I just put down saxophone, a guitar, or a harp.
Guitar.
Guitar. Yeah, you know.
Oh, it's like a
Yeah.
keyboard
Oh,
guitar.
actually, think of
remember
Roxy's.
from
Roxy has
Scooby-Doo
one.
Mystery.
Yeah.
Mystery had one of
Okay.
those.
Yeah.
Also,
Okay.
Roxy has one in Security Breach.
Oh, does she?
She does. I looked it up because I thought I remembered someone having, but yeah.
Okay.
Speaking of the axolotl,
Wait, so
I
what
was
were
going
the
to talk
other,
about off
what
the
were the other
camera.
instruments? I only heard
Guitar.
Guitar, harp, and saxophone.
I actually really like the idea of a harp.
I think that'd be interesting. I feel like it would need to be like a separate section of from the main band, though.
Yeah, that was the idea behind
Oh,
harp. Yeah,
absolutely.
because it's not going to fit
Because
in
if
with
it's
any
a
other
harp-
rock instrument.
Yeah. I feel like maybe, as much as I like the guitar, because Roxy already has the guitar,
Yeah.
I'd probably avoid that. I like the harp. What was the other one? Saxophone? I'm
Saxophone.
not big on that. I like the harp
Okay.
idea.
I feel
Yeah.
like there was definitely an animatronic that had a saxophone at some
Was
point. It was probably like one of the older ones.
I'm
It
gonna look
gives
this up,
off
let's
the
see.
vibe.
Let's see, what FNAF?
Bonnie had a guitar. Freddy was the microphone.
Or maybe I'm just thinking about Chuck E. Cheese's right now.
You might be!
Yeah.
Because there's probably
Did
a
Chuck E.
saxophone
Cheese have a
player at Chuck
saxophone?
E. Cheese. Yeah.
There's
I feel like
there's no official FNAF character that
We
plays
could
the
also
saxophone.
just be thinking about that one episode that was so
But,
FNAF
yeah.
based in Gravity Falls.
Oh
There
my
was
God,
100%
yeah.
a
Oh, yeah,
character
it
with a
was definitely
saxophone
had
in
a
Yeah,
there.
the
saxophone.
badger and the other things.
Okay,
yeah.
okay, you're right. I'm wrong.
Or like a character, because they also kind of had animatronics in a pizzeria in like Kim Possible as well.
Yeah,
and 100% there was a saxophone with someone there too.
The only thing I'm seeing is that I guess for some popular animation of Foxy playing a saxophone, but no character actually had one.
What?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Wait, is it a short animation? Can we cut it into this video?
I think I didn't see what it was and I closed the tab, but we can look
Oh, wait,
later.
hold on,
We
let me
can
look
try
back.
and cut that in.
Yeah.
We'll cut that in later, but
yeah.
yeah. So that's kind of. I'm down for the harp. The harp's a nice idea.
I feel
I
like
don't think a capybara would fit for a
Yeah,
harp
no.
though. As much as I love capybaras,
no.
I like the red panda idea, and I'm vibing with the pink armadillo thing.
Yeah.
Because I've seen that creature before. I don't remember what specifically.
I want
it's
to
called.
look up the pink armadillo.
honestly, if I think of the harp though, I would feel like it would be more like an animatronic, like puppet or like slightly humanoid, and I don't feel
Not
like
necessarily.
I feel like I don't know. That's what I'm thinking. I feel like it belongs more with the sister location animatronics would probably have a harp playing one. But I don't know, that's just me.
That's
because
fair.
I feel like it matches the energy of like Ballora and stuff.
That's fair.
I found pictures of the pink armadillo.
Yes.
Y'all ever realize that an armadillo is basically just a tactical assault possum? Y'all ever realize that? It's basically a possum with battle armor.
Okay. Yep, that's about right. No, do not bring the nigiri into this. Colin just showed me a picture of the pink armadillo looking like nigiri.
Oh
my god.
Is that Foxy playing the sax? Why does it
Taylor
kind
may
of
have
work?
found
It's
the
15
video.
seconds long, it's going
Oh my
in.
god, yes.
We're gonna cut it right here. We're gonna show it because Taylor just found it. We're gonna put it right here.
Yeah. Oh, that's amazing. That's
Moving
actually
on.
amazing. Anyway.
So I think we could still 100% do an animal animatronic with a harp. I think you just need to not think about it too much.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So
I'm not.
But I'm not on board with any of the water animals because if I'm thinking of a water animal, I think it needs to be in like a water type area, and I don't think there's a way to fit in a water type area in like the first few games.
Yeah,
would
only
not
in
fit in.
only in security
a
breach.
security breach, because I know people have done it before, especially since the Mega Pizzaplex is like this huge place.
Yeah. So that they have these areas they could insert an
could
animatronic
insert-
Could
into.
you imagine though, like an animatronic axolotl in just a giant tank somewhere?
Oh
and
my
it just
god,
drowns
yes.
children.
Oh no!
Wait, what? I kind of want to do that.
No, we're not doing an axolotl that drowns children. We're not
No,
doing
you know
that.
what? You know what comes
Because
to
you
mind?
know what would actually drown children? The fucking orca.
No, that's what I'm. That's
You're
where I'm,
so right,
No, that's where I'm
actually.
going. You know what I think of when I think of the orca animatronic? Think of like Gang Orca from MHA.
No,
I think of how
yeah,
like his
yeah.
tie looks like his tongue, or vice versa,
that would be
whatever
so
it was.
funny, though.
That would be kind of cool.
Anyway,
So, are we thinking between the red panda and armadillo then?
I like the red panda because every time I think of the red panda, I keep on just thinking of turning red.
Yeah, I had a
Yeah.
feeling.
But
yeah.
if I remember correctly, the main character for Turning Red, she knew how to play the flute or the oboe. I don't remember which, or it might have been the clarinet. But
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it was something funny like
it was
Yeah.
it was a wind instrument of some
Yeah.
sort. But then I can't get the pink armadillo out of my head. What was the other one? Because there was raccoon or squirrel. I don't
Yeah.
think those are elegant enough for a harp.
No,
Could you
for a harp,
imagine a
no.
raccoon playing the harp?
Ah, yes, the mighty
You know
trash
what I-
panda found
no,
a golden
you know
majestic
what I
harp.
can see it doing?
What?
Playing the
Garbage
trash
can
can.
drums.
Yeah. Oh my
Garbage
god.
can drums.
It's in like the really rundown part of the Mega Pizzaplex or of a pizza area.
I'm now leaning towards
Trash
the
panda.
Trash panda.
Okay,
playing
our
the
options.
drums.
Okay, so our options are, from what I'm hearing, pink armadillo with the harp, or trash panda with the drums.
Ooh.
Because either would work.
It's such a tough choice.
It kind of is.
Are
It
we?
kind of is.
Okay, here's my thing.
Yeah.
Are we willing to do both?
I'm willing to do both.
I'm game to do both.
I'm willing to do
to
two
do both.
characters. I'm willing to, because it would be fun. And then maybe we could just put them in an area together. It's like, it's
Yeah,
like,
but trash cans
Trash
mixed
cans,
with the harp for
no,
music.
But that's the thing, though. It's like opposites attract. We just have
I
two
guess.
opposite type characters
We
working
have
together.
one heavenly and one demonic.
Sure. No, I was
The
thinking more
heaven and hell
like
combo.
I was thinking more like regal kind of, and then like punk rock, something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess.
It could be. I don't know. Like, we don't need to put them in the same area, but I think because
I'd be open to doing both. I would totally be open to doing both
Okay.
if that's what we want to do.
All right.
What do you think?
I'm open to doing both.
Hell
I
yeah.
like how I keep on thinking of them as if they're in security breach, and then I'm like not focusing on the other ones.
Yeah, I'm thinking honestly
Well, 'cause
for the
security
raccoon, my
breach
mind
is
goes to
what
glam
you're
rock
most
raccoon.
comfy with, so.
Yes.
I mean, it is the.
Is there much we can build upon in advance for the first game and the toy game? Is there much that we can build upon about their background other than?
Well, if it's the first one, most of the animatronics were possessed by dead children, so we could talk about that.
Okay,
Yeah, do we
so-
want to make at least one of them possessed by a dead child?
How about we do this? Like, let's go through and let's think about the backgrounds for each individual game, so
Yeah.
we can have this like added
And
into
then
it.
the second one was the toy animatronics aren't possessed, I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure.
Yeah.
But there's just something wrong with their programming where they really want to stuff you into a suit.
Oh yeah,
Because
They
had
wanna
a
make you one
yeah.
of
They
them.
don't
Yeah.
think you're
They had
human.
they had an issue with their programming where they thought you were an endoskeleton.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the programming is no endoskeletons are supposed to be outside of a suit. So, welcome to be stuffing into a suit.
Welcome to Security Breach, where there's like 1,000 endoskeletons walking around trying to kill you.
Yes, that we're not trying to stuff in suits. For some reason.
I'm gonna stuff them in a suit.
No. Anyway, so let's start with first game design.
Yeah.
Background info on them. We said they're usually possessed by children. So do we want to
Yes.
go into like who the children are, why they've been added to our collection of haunting animatronics?
Yeah.
I mean, we don't really have to go over, like, we don't
We
know
don't
a
have to go
lot
into
about
specifics.
the dead kid. The dead kids.
Just
plural.
that William Afton killed them.
Yeah, we don't know a lot about them. They don't really go into depth about that, but
Okay.
there is specific behaviors that happen during the game that are like referenced
That you can
a lot.
definitely
Yeah.
see that they're kids,
So,
stuff like that.
We need to figure out how the animatronic would behave if it was in the first game.
Okay, so do we want to focus on Trash Panda first, or do we want to focus on Armadillo?
I kind of want to go the armadillo route.
Okay, so Harp Armadillo, what is like? How did they act? Who
Yeah.
were they?
I feel like you can almost kind of see them being like more of the quiet kid type starting off.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Like maybe not as loud spoken, especially with the whole harp thing. They're kind of more like soft and easy.
Do they speak?
No.
Do the animatronics speak?
No,
Not
none
really.
None of
Usually
them
speak.
do.
Not like actually.
I'm
No.
trying to figure out.
I
like-
understand what you mean about the quiet kid though. It's like I feel like there are some people who are band kids that don't interact with people.
Yeah.
So it's possible that like they don't talk to a lot of people and they just focus on their music. Imagine if they were a band kid before they became like that would like explain why they have a harp. Maybe they like
I mean, all
played
of
the
the
harp before.
animatronics have instruments,
That's
even
true.
though most of them probably weren't of age when they died.
I know.
Yeah.
And
That's
the animatronics came first, so stylistically, the design of them wouldn't be themed around the kids. Just
True.
fair.
This is true. Yeah.
just the behavior of them. Okay. So
I
quiet
just see
kid-
like the animatronic being like a little more on the shyer side,
that's fair.
in a sense.
What about? I feel like the Trash Panda would be more outgoing.
Oh,
in
yeah.
that sense.
Yeah, a little
'Cause
more
again,
rowdy.
I'm saying opposites attract. So if we have like the armadillo being kind of like the quiet kid, I can see them. I can see the Trash Panda.
I can
being,
see the trash panda just like, well, it's like
absolutely
trying
bouncing
to,
Yeah.
off the walls.
literally bouncing off the walls. But like every time it passes by a trash can, it just knocks it over.
It just wants to hear that nice old clang.
Knocks it over, but I can also kind of see it just like starting to eat. You know, like how Chica does in Security
yeah,
Breach,
like
because like raccoons always
trash.
like to feast from trash cans.
You're so
Yeah.
right. They'd be trash eating buddies.
Oh, they totally
I mean,
would be.
Even Chica, like no matter what game, she was always eating something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
She
like
was a
Security
fair- she was
Breach was
kind
like
of a glutton.
mainly trash.
Yeah, no. She was kind of a glutton. But anyway, but yeah, no. So I can totally see the trash panda like knocking, like having the urge every time we pass a trash can, just hear it
Just-
clang.
Yeah,
Knock it
that
over.
would be like
Hear
the
it-
warning to the security guard. It's just hearing the sound of
Of
various
trash
falling
cans
trash
knocking
cans.
over. Yeah, actually, I like that. That's great.
That's
Yeah.
nice. I like that. I definitely think it's a lot scary if you consider the fact that the armadillo is the quiet kid because you won't hear her coming. Okay, I'm gonna be
Yeah,
on this thought
sneaky.
process. I'm thinking of the armadillo as a girl, and I'm thinking of the trash panda as a guy.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Is that fair?
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
I'm
that's
on
fine.
board with that.
Okay.
I'm on board with that too.
Okay.
I
Now
can
we get a mix of
imagine that the cue for like the security guard would be like you see trash cans knocked over in the cameras, and that would be your warning that they already went past a section.
That area.
Yeah.
So that would be like your tell for they're coming towards you.
What would be your tell for the?
Oh, for the armadillo? Oh, I already got you. You're gonna you hear kind of like the light strung of the harp in like a little bit of a distance.
Are we saying that it's carrying the harp around? Because are we thinking like stand-up harp, or are we thinking like a lyre?
I'm thinking like the handheld one, like
So
the
like
smaller
the
one.
lyre.
The lyre, I was thinking a stands.
I was thinking
Stand
a
one?
stand-up
like
harp.
a mounted one that they would just be able to walk away from.
I mean,
Yeah.
we can go that route. I was just thinking small if
kinda
we were having to
wanted-
move
I
with
kind
it.
of wanted the mounted like stand-up harp was where I was thinking.
Okay.
So, okay.
Moving on.
Yeah, the toy.
So then, what do we want it? Wait. So then, what do we want its thing to be?
What do you mean?
For the toy animatronics?
For an armadillo, like how it gets recognized from a distance. Do you still hear the harp, or is it like something
No,
else?
I don't think it's. I think
So
it's just.
what do we want to?
Well, I mean, like you don't really. There's not really a tell
There's
for
not
a lot of
huge
them.
difference
It's just
between the toy animatronics and the
No. I
active
think we're
ones.
still on the first one.
We're still on the first
I think
one?
we're
Yeah.
still on the first one of like trying to figure out how you identify that they're coming closer to the.
Oh.
Or for this one, do we
office.
just kind of nod and it's just
I
kind of
think-
quiet and
I
pops
think
up?
I think we just acknowledge that it pops up because I think that's what it is for most of them. Is you see them on the cameras. they
And
pop
you
up.
just see where they are and they get
Just
closer.
Standard, like you see them get
Just the
closer.
Yeah,
standard,
okay,
you see
that's
them
fine.
get closer. I like the idea of the raccoon just having that ADHD urge
And
to
knocking
knock
the
over
trash
a trash
can
can
over.
because that's a lot of fun.
Literally.
But 100% the armadillo is just like any other animatronic. You just
Yeah.
see them.
Yeah.
I see the raccoon as similar to like Foxy in the sense of what the warning is, and then I see the armadillo just being like any other animatronic. So,
Doesn't
like,
Foxy hum or something? He
Um,
sings, and that's how. You
Yeah, in the first game.
really in the first game?
I think it's in
thought
the
his
first.
cue was just that you had to keep checking his
The
Pirates
curtain.
Cove area,
That too.
and then if not, you would hear him running towards you, and he would jump you.
Well,
Is
that
that what it
too.
was? I know the hum came into play at some point.
I know the hum came into play on the movie.
I know in the movie, but they took that from one of the games, as far as I know.
Yeah, well,
Was it Foxy? I thought it would
No,
have
it's
been
Foxy.
like
It was
Freddy or
no, it was
something.
Foxy.
it was Foxy
had the
because
humming.
again, it was in the
Surprise.
movie that it was Foxy.
You know, I need to rewatch the
Yeah.
FNAF. For
Any
real.
movie.
I should have rewatched
Um,
it. before
Moving
this
on to the
episode.
toy stuff.
Yeah.
Moving on to the toy animatronics.
So we said that it's just a glitch in their coding, and yes, Taylor,
I forgot something. There's the withered animatronics that are a part of the
toy.
toy animatronic era. So
Wait,
that's basically just damaged versions
Wait,
of the
wait,
ones
wait,
from the
wait,
first
wait,
game.
wait,
Yeah?
wait. Toy animatronic armadillo, withered
Raccoon.
raccoon.
I actually like the sound of withered raccoon, but it has a nice ring to it.
Yeah,
Withered
that's
trash.
fine.
Withered yeah.
So are we
withered
just
raccoon.
assuming that I mean, we have withered raccoon, right?
Yeah.
So are we just gonna keep it as withered raccoon, or are we going to like have a toy version of the raccoon? We don't
think
need to have toy versions of all of them,
I think it.
but I low-key like the dynamic of the withered raccoon and then the armadillo toy one.
I
Yeah,
think,
then-
I
I
think
like
it'd be
that.
nice if we have like one being like the actual toy design and one being the withered design, because then we have, because you said that they were within the same game, right?
Yeah.
Withered
Yeah.
and the toy. So if we do, whoever gets it, if we do the raccoon being the withered one and the armadillo being the like plastic toy one, I think that would be nice.
I like that it would imply that the armadillo one just went missing.
Oh yeah, because it would get replaced by the toys, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
I mean, it
wait.
wouldn't.
'Cause you said-
most of them
'cause
would
you
be in
said that-
back storage, but I feel like it would be more interesting if we just had it be implied that the armadillo like animatronic was destroyed.
Because what was it? So like the withered ones are like the old
Version
animatronics
yeah.
that
were
are
just,
still
like, in
roaming
storage.
around.
Yeah.
And then the toy animatronics, like what is that? Is like they just got replaced with new, fresher designs? Or
Yeah,
something?
with new designs, and that's the reason those ones aren't possessed, because they aren't the originals, or they're not built off of the originals.
So wait, so are the withered ones? Do they still have the kid spirits in
I
them?
think they're still possessed.
I think
Unless
that's.
I'm wrong.
No, I think you're right, because I think that's part of a reason they're withered in the first place. It's something to do with the kids kind of fighting the programming, I thought.
If y'all
Or
didn't-
something in there.
I just thought it was
Y'all
just 'cause they
can't
were just
see my
like,
face.
Oh, there's dead kids. in
These two can see my
animatronics.
face.
Yeah,
Y'all
could be.
can't see my face. I just had a moment of pure horrified thought process.
What was your
Hmm.
horrified thought process?
Because at least I'm in the consideration of the raccoon and the armadillo being close friends because
Yeah.
we're drawing them together. Just imagine withered raccoon still being like the kid possessed raccoon from the previous game, seeing the new armadillo and realizing that it's not its friend.
It's
So
actually really sad.
That's so sad. Oh.
I feel kind of evil for laughing at that, but like it's a fun idea. I really like the idea.
Colin, I laughed hysterically at bird murder. You're no different. It's fine.
Cool.
I've
The one that
told
got
you
hit by the
about
car
this.
that you
Oh,
witnessed.
Yeah, a while back I witnessed a car get run over by a bird.
A car? Dude, it's a car. Why do I want to animate that? No, we should totally make an animatic out of this clip.
A bird get run over by a car, And I was in such a state that I wasn't prepared for witnessing a bird get run over by a car that I just laughed hysterically. I was not in the right mental state to witness bird murder.
That's actually so tragic.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
Anyway.
Yeah, so bird getting run over by a car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah.
Yeah.
But I think that's just so sad because you got this guy that's like come back out of storage expecting to see his friend.
He always
and then
comes back.
And then and then his friend is just not around anymore because she like passed on or something, and now it's just this toy version of that has like no real emotions to it.
Mm.
I mean, it's implied that if you burn the animatronics alive, they just like the spirits are
The
released
spirits are
or
free.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I know. Not for Afton.
So I feel like that's a pretty good layout for the toy ones. Do we want to move on to the glam rock
Glam rock.
ones?
Yeah, because I feel like the glam rock ones, there's a lot more to build off of
There's
with
a
that.
lot more to work with. I
Yes.
feel like.
Okay, so specifically, how do we want to do this? Because again, we said that it's like Armadillo has a harp, Trash Panda has his trash drums.
They're like opposite ends of the spectrum. I don't know how we're gonna put them in the same room.
I mean, we could split them into different sections still.
And then they just
But they
visit
just
each
hang
other.
out, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like we could give them 2 separate acts. It's just we got to figure out what the acts are and like
So-
where they would be placed.
So
and
I
stuff
think
like that.
for the raccoon, Roxy Raceway would be the best bet. I can
Ooh.
kind of see that because
I
I
can see them
don't
hanging out together.
see any other real area where it's
Yeah.
like that would
Or,
work for the
I
raccoon.
feel like just as an animatronic, it would be like one of those ones that try and convince you to throw away your trash. You know? It would just be like there would be a thing that like pops up and it was like, don't forget to throw out your trash or to recycle. It would, that's what it would say. That's just what I'm
I
imagining.
can also imagine them hanging around Monty's golf because I feel like raccoons and gators would kind of get along for some
I feel like the
That's-
gator might eat the raccoon.
reason.
Yeah. Nom nom.
And the wolf wouldn't?
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Anyway, but
Fair.
no, but anyway, but yeah. So what were we saying about like trash collector?
Yeah.
Like try and encourages you to throw away your garbage.
Encourages lack of littering and recycling.
Yes.
I like that idea. But like again, where would they hang
literal
out? Would they have their own section for their little? What if? Ooh, idea. What if the armadillo and the raccoon were like opening acts for the main band?
I could see that.
Because then you could
All
have
right.
like a brief song or two of them just chilling and doing whatever the hell they wanted.
Exactly. They'll
Yeah.
just be on stage and they're just
having
the,
fun.
They're the less popular ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, just have them
there
as
to
an
make
opener.
noise.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're just there to get
There
the
to hype
kids
up the
riled
crowd.
up. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's
So anyway, but I do like the idea that the raccoon is like this one person that encourages the kids to stop littering and also teaching them how to recycle and stuff like that. I do
Yeah.
like that idea.
Please.
It's also very contrasting to the first game design of the raccoon where he just knocks all the trash cans over.
He's grown. He's changed.
grown.
He's had character
grown.
development.
Since the
developed.
child is not possessing him
Yeah.
anymore.
No, because like I just feel like that's just the direction.
No, I get
Yeah.
it. Yeah, no, I get it.
And also like you see like Freddy as like character kind of grow from
Oh,
like,
yeah, totally.
non-speaking to
yeah.
Yeah.
glam rock Freddy
Yeah.
as he is.
Yeah, and now he's also like actually trying to help you in security breach.
Exactly.
I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm still on the idea of it having like kind of a, not really like a complete punk rock design, but like I like the idea of like the spiky like jewelry on it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Kind of. Like
yeah,
I can
super
totally see
fun.
that.
Like goth punk.
Not
kinda?
really. Like basically like a very similar sense that like Roxy has, where she has like the spiky bracelets and the
Oh,
collar.
yeah,
Kind of
gotcha.
basically is what I'm thinking. But
I could see that.
I think like however it's designed obviously is going to be up to the person's interpretation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hear me out. We need to talk about how we're gonna kill off the armadillo and then the raccoon because Gregory kills all the animals.
I know
Yeah.
he doesn't necessarily. Well, I mean, yeah, he
He
kind of does.
basically
So
does.
Yeah.
in the game, Gregory basically takes out each individual animatronic to take a part of them to install into Freddy to better boot his system.
So for Roxy, it's the eyes.
No eyes, yeah.
Yeah, the eyes. For
Monty
Monty,
was
it's
the
the
claws.
claws, and then from Chica, it was the beak to give Freddy his voice
It was
back.
the speaker box, yeah.
Yeah.
So the raccoon, what? Like, do we want to have him have special skills? Because I mean, like, he didn't take anything from Sundrop and Moondrop.
and they're important characters too.
Yeah.
I guess they don't have to.
And then we
but I
also
feel
have like the
it's
map
still-
bots and all that shit, and like they don't get stuff taken from them either. So it's like there's
Yeah.
characters that are there that are important that don't. Like also the DJ. The DJ doesn't get anything taken from him.
DJ Music Man.
That's true. I
Yeah.
still feel like they'd attack Gregory though, and the fact that they're like more open to like Sun and Moon are like basically stuck in the daycare for most of it until like the certain point in the game where Moon just like goes out, and he has a very specific limitation. That
And then the
makes
DJ is also stuck wherever the hell he is.
Yeah,
'cause
'cause
he's
he's
large
too
as heck.
big.
Yeah, until he climbs through his tunnels.
So I just think
But he's
that
still in that same area.
because
Yeah, but it's a big
Armadillo
area.
and Raccoon are of a smaller scale, they're
And can roam around freely.
they're more of a threat to just keep walking around.
But like, what specifically would they have that would be a good modification to apply to Freddy? I think is the thing that we need to.
true.
Yeah, that's what
Because
I'm.
that's really the reason that he
Take
takes
the
them
shell
out
of the
is-
armadillo.
No, that's literally the
Oh.
reason that they take out that Gregory takes them out is to like take
Yeah.
something from them to apply to Freddy so that
You can get through more parts of a game.
yeah. So
Yeah, I
mean,
don't really know what
And also, I
you
want
would
to like
take.
think about like, would they be an obstacle or would they be helping like Freddy is? I think we
I
need
like
to
to
consider
think
that.
that they're an obstacle because I
Yeah.
feel like it'll keep Freddy's uniqueness in the game
That's
as
fair.
being the
The
one
one
uncorrupt
that's gonna help you.
animatronic. And also, it'd be great to add horrifying aspects to like Armadillo
would.
and Raccoon.
I guess. Yeah.
That's why I like
alright.
that picture. You know how like they all get damaged and stuff, and eventually see like a torn up version of them. I kind of want to see like a version of that for the armadillo and for the raccoon too.
That's fair. So,
Okay, so what would we do with that?
I mean, we could just have them as like roaming, kind of like some of the other ones
yeah.
are, and just kind of figure out what areas we would see them guarding.
I think we need to hold up on like how they play a more important role, and like because we haven't discussed on the armadillo's role all that much. We've
Yeah.
discussed
True,
the pandas,
yeah.
but not like the sorry, not
The raccoon.
raccoon. We haven't discussed the armadillo. So we know they have a harp. We said they were going to be an opening act. Are they going to have like a specific role like the raccoon has, and like the raccoon has the whole like collecting trash thing, encouraging a lack of littering, and basically teaching you to stop littering and encouraging people to recycle. So like, what is
Yeah.
the armadillo?
Like, what's its signature thing?
Like, what's a unique thing for the armadillo? Really?
it can roll into a ball and
It can roll
zoom.
into a ball and zoom away. I'm
That'd actually be
thinking
terrifying.
It has a harp, and harps are like traditionally like super peaceful things or nice things to listen to. So I'm thinking,
Could we put them in the daycare?
That's
with...
what I was
Yeah, I was gonna say, could we put them in the
yeah.
daycare with Sun and Moon? Because then it's
Yeah.
like, oh my
What about like on top of
God!
that castle part
Imagine-
area?
Sure. Like, well, that's on top of that castle area is kind of like that's kind of Sun and Moon's room.
Yeah.
Pretty much. But
I don't
just
think Armadillo could even get up there.
No, I'm
Yeah,
talking
no.
about that lower one where you go and get the gift box. There's like a staircase and it brings you up to that one tower.
Oh yeah,
Right.
like one of the towers.
Yeah. Anyway, what was your
No,
thing?
but I was gonna say like that also makes such a fun little thing with the raccoon because if the raccoon goes into the daycare to visit, again, lessons of stopping littering and teaching about recycling.
All right.
That's just adorable because then you could just teach kids and we start off early.
That would be
Yeah.
super
They would
cute.
teach the super young kids. I think that's cool. I like that
Yeah.
idea.
I'd like to imagine that Sun sprays the raccoon with disinfectant.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, wait, actually, yeah, totally. That would totally be it.
No, but that's a little funny though because if you think about it, Sun's not all that cleanly either. He has an obsession with glitter glue.
He does have an obsession with glitter glue, but I feel
You know
like
how that gets
it would be-
everywhere?
I feel like the raccoon would help like clean up all like the shit that Sun messes up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't know. Sun gives off the vibes that he'd secretly be like a germaphobe, and would be programmed to like disinfect things for the kids.
Do we?
So he
do
would
we?
be like,
Do we still want to say that the armadillo is kind of like the quiet kid? Like, are they? Do we want to just consider the armadillo to kind of be like mute in the security breach? Like,
Yeah.
does she have
Yeah.
a voice box at all, or
I
does she
mean-
just like keep quiet for the most part?
I'm fine with no voice box.
Yeah.
I feel
I
like
kinda
that
vibe
would
with no
make it
voice.
interesting.
Yeah, I like that. All right.
Uses sign language.
Ooh, that would be so fun though. Like,
And then
imagine.
that kind of makes it more open to other kids and stuff too,
yeah,
who like can't talk. That would
would
be cool.
so fun though. I like that idea. Like, totally. Give the freaking
Armadillo sign language with its stubby little hands.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I like that.
Well, actually, how efficient would the armadillo be at sign language, though?
do they only have 4 fingers?
I mean, we could just
Yeah,
make
that's
it have a
fine.
humanoid hand and be like,
We
fuck
could.
it. Because they have to play the harp,
They have to play the harp, so
which
I feel like it
probably
would
requires more
delicate fingers, yeah.
Yeah, we could still go with like the normal length of the arm, so you just gotta have the fingers for it.
Yeah.
Well, you also got to consider the fact that most of the animatronics have like a more like
Oh yeah,
human-like
no, I know.
build, kind of.
Yeah.
Because Chica's not just walking around on like chicken legs and, and with wings for arms.
Yeah,
You gotta consider
Yeah,
that.
and Roxy's not down on all fours, walking like a dog.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Bonnie isn't
Monty
moving
doesn't
like a rabbit.
Monty doesn't have stubby legs either.
I
Because
really
gators kind of
like
have stubby
the
legs.
idea of the daycare aspects to
Yeah.
it, but that's just because Sun's my favorite boy.
Sun and Moon are my favorite.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah. So
Okay.
what do we want to do? I can't get on my head. I understand the raccoon being a issue, but I can't see the armadillo being that much of an issue. I feel like it would be because again, it's the quiet kid. It's in the daycare, so it's clearly very like.
What if there's like a way for it to serve as some kind of warning for you without actually like
Maybe you can just
killing you?
maybe the armadillo can just warn you when Moondrop is approaching.
Yeah, something like that.
a specific signal with the harp or something.
Yeah.
Because I can just imagine, like, as the lights are out, you just hear, like, the harp. Because, like, I feel like...
As it gets closer.
Like, I feel like she would be very, like, adamant of, like, using her harp to, like, kind of, like, calm down. Like, lullaby, kind of, the kids. And
Yeah.
so maybe it's a very similar aspect of how she does it with Moon. So maybe there's, like, a moment where she'll, like, fake mess up which string she's playing. So it makes, like, a bad... Like, it messes with the tune and it distracts Moon or something. And it like gives you enough time to like get away. Maybe that would be an interesting aspect.
Maybe. That'd
Maybe.
Be interesting. Yeah.
But then how would the raccoon play? Because we said the raccoon's gonna be an obstacle. Maybe.
Yeah.
I'm imagining the raccoon probably also gets killed in a trash compactor with Chica.
Yeah, because I'm kind of
not-
thinking guarding the kitchen maybe because of all the trash and all the food in there. I mean, that kind of seems like that loading bay kitchen area would be kind of its main thing.
That would be
Yeah.
fair.
We don't really see a specific animatronic down there because we see Chica at
We
one
see
point,
Chica, but
and then I think we see Roxy in an area nearby, but that's about it. But
Well,
it's
there's
mostly Chica.
yeah. Raccoons have night vision, don't they?
Yes, they do.
Probably.
I can totally see them just roaming around the dark of the loading bay in the kitchen,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
kind of like keeping watch. I can see that. Okay.
I low key, I could also see them jumping out of trash cans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like a
Are we
jump
able
Like
I can't
head
remember.
pokes out of the can, glowing eyes beating
Yes.
down at you.
I can't remember in Security Beach, was hiding in a trash can an option?
No, it was not. You could do laundry baskets, but not the.
Mm.
And you could, and same thing with the strollers and a couple other things. But trash cans were a big no.
So, are we just saying the raccoon can hide in the trash cans?
Yeah.
Or okay. I was gonna
Sounds
say like, what if we
scary.
add
The
in
coon.
like, what if we add in the ability for Gregory to hide in trash cans?
And he
That would
gets
be
in
cute.
one with the animatronic.
With the animatronic.
He goes to get in one and accidentally takes the lid off the raccoon's head. It's like, hey there, sport.
Hi.
Hi.
But yeah, no.
Forget
so,
to recycle.
That's so sad though, because again, it's like, oh my god, it's vice versa now.
What do you mean?
So remember how we were talking about how the with the toy ones, with the wither raccoon and the toy bunny, it's like, I mean, toy bunny, the toy armadillo, it's like the withered raccoon is like the previous one from the first game, and it's like, so it still has the child soul in it, but the armadillo doesn't have the child soul in it anymore, so it's like it's lost its friend. Imagine the armadillo being a friendly person and then finding out that Gregory killed its friend later.
Ooh.
Like it helps Gregory deal with Sun and Moon, and then later on, as it goes looking for the raccoon later,
Finds out that
it finds
Gregory
out that
killed
Gregory
it.
killed it.
Or at least badly damaged it. Yeah.
Poor baby.
But then we'd have to figure out like why Gregory badly damaged it in one case. Or no, we still have a trash compactor, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
he could have
okay.
accidentally got trapped in the trash compactor when he was dealing with Chica Because
Yeah.
100%, what if the raccoon's just trying to talk Chica out of her trash eating obsession? Honestly, that would be so
What is it, an
good.
intervention?
Yes.
God damn it.
Animatronic
Like, God
intervention,
damn
all
it,
right.
Chica, I put this trash here for a reason so it can be dealt with in a cleanly order, and you just keep
And
on
then there's
throwing
you.
it everywhere as you scarf it down.
I can imagine that the raccoon is just incredibly concerned about the children's health around Chica.
because of that.
No,
fact.
okay, kind of like a random side thing that like I thought of with this is that when Chica eats, where does it go? Because there's no real interior. It's an endoskeleton, so is she just
Well,
gunking
no,
up
if
all
you-
her wires
well,
and
I
stuff?
mean, if you see it when she's walking around during the Ruin DLC, she has like a stomach sack hanging out.
Was there?
Yes.
Yeah, but like it just goes through her systems. I think they talked about like having to deal with the problem of cleaning her out all the time.
Yeah, that's gotta be such a pain.
So that's also why the raccoon's having the
Okay.
intervention. So that's totally. if
Chica,
he-
you have a problem. I don't know what you mean. This pizza's delicious. Here, try some. No, I'm trying to teach the kids cleanliness.
Yeah. Just like having
You're
an
a bad role model.
having
You're a
having
bad
an
role model.
intervention trying to talk Chica out of eating trash accidentally gets caught in the trash compactor too.
Exactly.
That's totally a thing that would happen.
Oh yeah.
I could imagine that he was just wrestling Chica and was like, "Get out of the goddamn trash."
Oh wait.
Get out of the freaking
Wait,
trash compactor.
Wait. Hear me out. What if like in trying to wrestle Chica into the trash compactor, the
You have to
raccoon
deal
was
with the raccoon
no. I was gonna
trying
say
to
what if the
wrestle her
raccoon
out.
was no. What if the raccoon was trying to help him and accidentally got caught under there too?
Trying to. Oh, so
I'll
it
help
would.
him destroy Chica.
Help him to push. Like trying to push Chica off of Gregory, and he gets kind of caught in there and gets crushed too.
Okay, so are we saying the raccoon is kind of a helpful?
In that
guy?
regard, it would be kind of yeah, but then
Like, cause that's my thing though. If he's going around being an obstacle for Gregory throughout the game, and then all of a sudden he just helps him, does
Yeah,
that mean
no.
like he breaks through the glitch in his programming or something?
I mean maybe, but honestly, yeah, wait, because that would kind of
So it's either he be's helpful or he don't be's helpful.
I kinda like the obstacle route.
I think maybe he was trying to take out the trash when Chica was trying to eat the trash, and so Chica just bulldozes it into the trash bin, and Gregory just smashes them both.
Again, I'm stating, I think like it should be an accidental killing of the raccoon, but like in some regard, he's like trying to deal with Chica for some reason. For some
Yeah.
reason or other.
okay.
I vote that Chica tackles him into the trash by accident.
It's like trying to get to the trash
Yeah.
faster. You're in my way. get down there.
Exactly.
Yeah, I can totally see
Okay,
that.
so we have that figured out then. All right.
All right.
And Armadillo just doesn't get destroyed.
Armadillo doesn't get destroyed.
do we want to come up with a name for them? I think we should give them
definitely come up with
names. Because we
Is it
forgot
gonna be-
the naming process last time.
Yeah, so I
Amy
think we
the
just
Armadillo.
What?
Amy the Armadillo.
Amy Armadillo?
Amy
I'm
Armadillo.
not opposed to that. I'm not opposed to that.
Or Amelia. I'm thinking names that rhyme.
I'm
Yeah.
thinking of,
I like the
for some
alliteration.
reason, my brain's saying Anya. Anya
Anya
Armadillo.
Armadillo?
I like that. I like
Okay.
Anya.
Because I'm thinking of
Angie Armadillo.
I'm thinking of the Anastasia movie, and she was called Anya for a while, and I like,
Alright.
and I feel like that's a very elegant name. Anya Armadillo, I like that. Do we want to
Okay.
do that?
Yeah.
that's
And then for the
And
raccoon.
then for the raccoon.
What about
Low-key, I like-
Ranger Raccoon?
imagining glam rock Armadillo to be very not glam rocky aesthetic,
Yeah, not glamour.
but like close to Sun and Moon in terms of the fantasy aesthetic.
yeah,
like
I'm
a
totally
princess.
down on that. Yeah,
Um,
I'm totally down. I can totally see that. Yeah. So what do we want to name the raccoon though? Roger Raccoon.
maybe Ranger.
I don't want to say
Actually,
Rocket
not
Raccoon.
Ranger.
I don't want to say
Yeah.
Rocket Raccoon.
Rocket
Um,
I keep thinking Ranger, but then I picture him as like a park mascot, and I don't see that.
Rascal Raccoon.
Rascal's not bad.
Roderick.
Because it's not. Because it's.
Why do I kind of like that though?
Because I don't think. Because I thought. Because I don't. Because some of them aren't even just like. It's not even just. Sometimes it's not just because like it's Freddy Fazbear, but sometimes it's not like Chica Chicken. It could be
Yeah.
Chica the Chicken.
Yeah.
Or Bonnie the Bunny.
Yeah.
So it could be like.
Or like Montgomery Gator, like that doesn't. Yeah.
Why
So-
the fuck is he named Montgomery?
Auntie.
Some Louisiana bullshit. Anyway.
Being Louisianist over here.
Hey, listen. Anyway, no.
Or like
but,
Roxanne Wolf. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think I like Anya Armadillo. I think What did I say?
For
the raccoon.
I don't know. I heard more of
Rascal
Taylor's.
Raccoon, I think
Rascal,
was what I
and
said.
I kind of like Roderick though. Like low key,
What
that's
did you
actually
say?
not bad.
What did you say? What was the name?
Roderick.
Raccoon?
I'm actually not opposed to it. That's actually
I'm not
not
opposed to it
bad.
either. It's a bit. It's definitely better than Rascal.
Yeah, because I think Rascal's too playful. I think
Yeah.
Roderick is just...
Roderick's nice.
Roxy Raccoon.
Roderick Raccoon, and we could call him Brody on occasion.
Rhodey?
Brody.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I like the name.
Rhodey Raccoon, but full name is Roderick.
Yeah, it's like Montgomery Gator. It's Monty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what? I vibe
And
with
then
that. That's good.
Roxanne Wolf is Roxy sometimes. So, yeah.
And then Frederick Bear is just Freddy.
Frederick Fazbear, it's just Freddy. I don't think he was ever actually called Frederick.
Bonnabelle Bunny is just Bonnie.
What? Bonnie is a man!
Yeah, I know.
Bonnie is a man!
Yeah, I know, but you try thinking of it, the extended version of Bonnie.
You try to think of
And
the
it's-
extended
yeah.
version of Chica.
I know I've actually heard it before. I've heard someone come up with one. It was fairly
Anyway,
clever. I don't remember what it
Chica
was.
has a full name?
No,
No,
that's what I'm saying.
not like actually, but someone came up with one that would kind of work. It was like Chica something, but it
No, but
worked.
anyway, so going along that line, I like that idea. So Roderick Raccoon, sometimes called Rhodey, and then we got Anya
Armadillo.
I like
Anya
that.
Armadillo. All right.
Okay. Okay, so Colin's created the wheel. We have the wheel. Do you want to explain to them what
So,
it says on the wheel?
On the wheel, we have 3 categories: OG, toy, and security breach. The 3 different versions of the styles for the characters we want to do.
Which
so,
we've discussed.
Basically, we're just gonna go each and just spin
Do
the
we
wheel.
want to do from left to right? So Taylor, you, and then me.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Okay. So Taylor first. Let's figure out
And
what she's
then,
gonna do.
as we do it, I'll remove them from the wheel.
Spin. They don't need to do that.
Spin,
Yeah.
spin, 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 spin.
Tap the middle of the wheel. You gotta tap it.
What the fuck, the middle?
Yeah.
Taylor
That's
trying
how
to
wheel
spin her own
works.
wheel and fucking it up.
All right.
Ooh,
Looks like
Taylor
Taylor's
gets
doing
the
the
Wither
toy.
toy.
Yeah.
Honestly, for the
Nice.
best. I'm excited to see how you do this. So you get Wither Roderick Raccoon and toy
Plastic
Anya.
armadillo.
Yeah, toy Anya Armadillo. Okay, Colin, your turn.
All right. Spinning
Honestly,
the wheel.
these are the 2 that I've drawn versions of my character for anyway, so I'm used to. And
All right,
I get
am
the fucking
doing-
OG.
And I am doing security breach.
Honestly, I wish I could do security breach. I like security breach, but I mean, we did the wheel for a reason, so it was randomized. I will take OG and I will roll with it.
Okay. All right. So we have our categories.
So
All right.
once again, we're going to say Taylor is doing
I mean, if
Wither.
you want to do Wither
No,
toy.
no,
Okay.
we did this for a reason.
If you want to security
Um,
breach, do you want
We're
to?
doing this for a
Okay.
reason.
I was gonna say if you want.
No.
Okay. Okay.
No. Okay. So Taylor gets Wither Roderick Raccoon and toy Anya Armadillo. You get the security breach versions of Rhodey and Anya, and I get OG versions of Roderick and Anya, which will be actually very interesting to do. Imagine me just drawing the spirits of dead children. I didn't discuss this in the other one because I was thinking about this. Are we having them be friends, or are we? I think friends is nice, but imagine the off chance that they're siblings.
That they're siblings?
Yeah, that they were sibling, like that.
Oh,
not
the
like the
children.
children that are
Yeah.
possessing the animatronics. Like an
Ah,
off chance
okay.
that they're siblings. I think I'm going down the friends route because that's what
I'm
we
Siblings
going
or
down
they like
friends
lived on the
route,
same
too.
cul-de-sac or something.
Or
Like
they
they were like school
just
friends
low-key
or something.
besties and
Yeah.
they died at the same time.
Yes. Yep. All right. Anyway, yeah. All right.
All
I
right.
think we did our wheel. We're good.
Cool.
All right, and with that, this has been episode 6 of our podcast, Character Crashers. We hope you all enjoyed our discussion of Five Nights at Freddy's. If you're interested in more character media and creativity, go ahead and hit that follow button. And until next time,
Stay crashing.